Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah.
We need to release the Epstein list.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
Everyone assumes Jeffrey Epstein was just a sleazy billionaire financier running a solo sex trafficking operation for his own gratification. Instead, evidence points to him potentially operating as an asset for Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, ensnaring global elites in a web of compromise. According to a 2025 University of Maryland poll, 27% of Americans who believe Epstein collaborated with foreign intelligence name Israel as the top culprit.
Yes, ma'am.
Outpacing even Russia at 30% overall, but leading among younger demographics. This isn't mere scandal. It threatens the integrity of international diplomacy, where blackmailed leaders could bend policies to favor foreign powers, undermining democratic sovereignty and fueling endless geopolitical tensions. In this video, we'll explore the theories with the highest probability of truth about Epstein's foreign agency ties, dissecting his links, motivations, and the latest revelations on his suspicious death. Connections to Israeli intelligence. Let's start with Epstein's tangled web of Israeli contacts, which trace back decades and scream intelligence involvement. Epstein's partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, was the daughter of Robert Maxwell, a British media mogul confirmed as a Mossad asset by multiple sources. Robert Maxwell died mysteriously in 1991 off the Canary Islands, with his funeral attended by 6 former Israeli prime ministers and eulogized by Shimon Peres. As reported by Mint Press News in 2019, Ari Ben Menashe, a former Israeli arms dealer and intelligence officer, claimed he met Epstein and Ghislaine in the 1980s through Robert, who was running arms deals for Israel.
They might let it out when they feel they're being threatened by Trump.
Ben Menashe stated Epstein was already working honey trap operations, luring targets into compromising situations for Mossad, equipped with hidden cameras in his properties like the 7,000 square foot, 650 square meter New York townhouse and his 10,000 acre, 4,047 hectare New Mexico ranch. Historical examples bolster this. In the mid-1980s, Epstein connected with Douglas Leese, a British arms dealer linked to MI6 and Mossad, and Adnan Khashoggi, a Saudi arms broker with Israeli ties. A 2025 Dropsite News investigation revealed Epstein hosted a senior Israeli military intelligence officer, Barak Said, at his Manhattan home for weeks between 2013 and 2016, during which time Epstein emailed former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak over 100 times discussing sensitive matters. Barak visited Epstein's townhouse at least 30 times post-2008 conviction, per flight logs and emails, and they co-invested in Carbine, an Israeli surveillance tech firm valued at $100 million, with Barak as a board member. According to Dropsite News reporters Murtaza Hussein and Ryan Grimm, Epstein's communications show he facilitated back channels for Israeli interests. A Newsweek article from 2025 cited Ben Menashe again, noting Epstein held multiple passports, a classic spy tool, and fled to Israel briefly after 2008 charges before his plea deal. The Times of Israel, in 2021, quoted journalist Julie K. Brown, who broke the Epstein story,
sealed documents that probably should have never been sealed,
saying connections to Israeli intelligence weren't beyond the realm of possibility. What this means is Epstein wasn't a lone operator. His network reveals a systemic intelligence footprint. This connects back to our thesis. Mossad likely ran him to gather leverage. Compare to Robert Maxwell's own ops, funneling $500 million in arms profits to Soviet banks for Mossad, per Ari Ben Menashe's 1992 book, Profits of War. Epstein's scale was intimate but global. 40 victims by 2011, per police affidavits, versus Maxwell's state-level dealings. But that's not all. These ties extended to concrete diplomatic wins for Israel, brokered deals for Israel. That brings us to Epstein's role as a shadow diplomat, brokering deals that advanced Israeli security interests. Dropsite News' 2025 series uncovered Epstein negotiating a security pact between Israel and Mongolia in 2015 to 2016. Emails show Epstein coordinating with Barak and Mongolian officials, leading to a formal agreement signed in Jerusalem, covering cyber defense and military tech worth $50 million annually. Epstein also set up a back channel between Israel and Russia during the Syrian civil war, 2011 to ongoing, per the same investigation. In 2015, amid Russia's intervention killing over 500,000, Epstein emailed Barak about lobbying Russian contacts for Syrian regime change, aligning with Israel's anti-Iran stance in the region. Technical specs highlight the sophistication. Carbine, their joint venture, uses AI-driven surveillance with facial recognition accuracy of 99% and real-time data integration from 911 systems, tech exported to over 15 countries, per company reports. Costs: $10 million initial investment from Epstein, yielding $200 million in valuations by 2025. A 2025 Al Jazeera report detailed Epstein's emails with Barak on these deals, including one where Epstein joked about not working for Mossad, yet implored Barak to clarify it publicly. Expert citations. Reason Magazine's 2025 article by Matthew Petty described Epstein as a fixer at an elite level, citing declassified emails. Democracy Now's November 2025 interview with Hussein noted Epstein's extensive relationship with US and Israeli intel, brokering for countries like Côte d'Ivoire too. The significance: these weren't random. They reveal Epstein as a cutout for deniable ops. Contrast with overt diplomacy, US-Israel aid at $3.8 billion yearly versus Epstein's shadow pacts, compressing influence into personal networks. This proves our thesis, Mossad's hand in directing him. Yet, this leads us to the why. What drove such a risky alliance? Motivations and honey trap mechanics. Perhaps the most important aspect is the motivations. Blackmail for geopolitical gain. Mossad's incentive: leverage over US elites to ensure pro-Israel policies. Epstein's properties had cameras. Victims like Maria Farmer, Jane Doe 200, testified in 2025 CNN interviews to a Jewish supremacist ring tied to the Mega Group, a pro-Israel billionaire network co-founded by Leslie Wexner, who gifted Epstein his $77 million, $88 million adjusted, townhouse. Farmer alleged abuse in 1996. With Wexner funding Epstein's ops, Wexner transferred $200 million in assets to Epstein per 2019 reports. Historical mini-narrative. In 1986, Epstein met Steven Hoffenberg, running a Ponzi scheme defrauding 200 investors of $475 million. Hoffenberg told Newsweek in 2025 that Epstein claimed Mossad ties using blackmail from underage encounters. By 2005, Palm Beach police investigated Epstein for assaulting 40 girls under 18 per affidavits, yet his 2008 plea yielded 13 months in jail, served 6 days a week out, lighter than standard sentences averaging 20 years. A 2025 University of Maryland study found 45% of Americans believe Epstein collaborated with foreign intel, with Israel at 27%, motivated by polls showing US aid to Israel at $158 billion since 1948. Tucker Carlson's July 2025 speech accused Epstein of Mossad blackmail, citing no client list release as cover-up. Analysis. This reveals a contradiction. Epstein's crimes as both vice and tool. What seems self-destructive serves strategic goals. Compromise figures like Bill Clinton, 26 flights on Epstein's jet, or Prince Andrew, settled lawsuit for $16 million, could sway votes. Rule of three. 3 stages. Recruitment via Maxwell, 1980s, expansion, 20,000s islands, post-conviction laundering, 2010s deals. However, his death adds the final layer of intrigue. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Epstein's Mossad links expose how intelligence agencies exploit human weaknesses for systemic control. From individual honey traps to patterns like Maxwell's arms deals, this escalates to diplomatic realignments, US policy shifts favoring Israel amid Epstein's era, and fundamental changes like eroded trust in institutions. All this brings us to a crucial question. If Epstein was protected, who silenced him? What happens next? We explore 3 scenarios. Option 1, status quo continuation, most likely 60% per expert opinions like Skeptic Magazine's 2025 analysis. Full file releases stall. DOJ's July 2025 memo, confirming suicide, no list, holds. Consequences. Public skepticism grows, with polls at 50% believing murder per August 2025 Economist/YouGov. Obstacles. Political resistance, as Trump delayed per Representative Massey. Option 2. Escalation via leaks, 30% likelihood per DropSite News. Triggers. Hacked files or whistleblowers reveal more Mossad ties. Risks. US-Israel tensions, like reduced $3.8 billion aid. Outcomes include investigations per 2025 Epstein Files Act. Option 3. De-escalation through transparency, 10% per Naftali Bennett's denials. Requirements. Bipartisan push releases all. Feasibility low due to national security claims. Connects to evidence. 2025 CBS probe found cell disarray, but no foul play. So, everyone assumes Jeffrey Epstein was just a sleazy billionaire financier running a solo sex trafficking operation for his own gratification. After examining his connections to Mossad figures like Barak and Maxwell, the deals he brokered for Israel, and the blackmail motivations, we can see that there is a high probability that was an asset for foreign intelligence. Epstein wasn't a lone wolf. He was a puppet in a honey trap empire. This matters because it erodes trust in global power structures, potentially altering alliances for generations. As new findings emerge, like the DOJ's 2025 fake video mishap and ongoing releases, the shadows may finally lift. But what do you think? Do you believe Epstein was Mossad-run, or was it all coincidence? How should the US respond to these intelligence ties? Make sure to subscribe for more insightful analysis, in-depth assessments, and breaking news reports from around the world.